Okay.
Where did the other guys go?
It should be back up in a second. Kovar said he was going to get a drink.
I'm still here.
All right.
Oh, okay. I didn't want to be left alone with Josh all by myself.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
So let's talk about Donkey Kong Country 2 now that we're alone.
I've never played it.
Heathen.
I've played it like once. I've never been that into the Donkey Kong Country series. I mean, it's okay.
Different strokes, I suppose.
I played the first game all the time with my cousin back in the day, but I never had the sequels.
Okay, I'm adjusting the audio delay. I think we found it to be 3,000 or so.
You want to know something crazy about me? Was that
What's that?
I had a Sega Genesis. He was older than I did. He lived through this because my brother was older than I did. He lived through the 16-bit era, so he had a Super Nintendo and a Genesis. But I didn't live through that era, so all those things got passed down to me along with all his games. And the only Sonic game he ever had was Sonic 1. Well, I played Sonic 1 religiously. And I did not know that other Sonic games existed until 2005.
Yeah, I heard you say that yesterday, but I don't think we jumped on it. That is really interesting.
Did I say it? I don't remember.
Yeah, I definitely remember you saying it.
I thought I said it in the chat. I don't think I said it here.
It might
But anyway,
have
yeah.
been too. Yeah.
You idiots, I said to get another person in the stream while I was gone.
I can't even remember
Well, I
when,
said come
the
up with
first
a
time I played Sonic 1
Well, I
was.
said come up with a Sonic Colors bonus goal while I was gone, and we didn't do that either.
You and
we did. We came up with Shuffle.
Yeah, I
Okay.
said Geek Critique on Shuffle.
All right, that'll work. Okay, and we've raised I don't know. I don't want to do the math, but we've raised some money since we hit the last bonus goal. So I'm gonna set this one relatively low. At least, I mean, taking into consideration that I have to produce a whole episode if we hit it. So it's gonna be, if we hit at least, we'll say 35, because I feel like 50 is a good spot for an episode, and I feel like we've probably gotten about that much since we hit the last bonus goal. Somewhere around there.
Okay.
And I'm going to give us a little more time, too. We'll consider Colors in Lost World. Because I don't think I had a good idea for Lost World either, did I?
Are you going to play through like the entirety of Lost World?
Yeah,
No.
because that's a really long game.
No, not at all. Just the same as I did with Unleashed, I'm only going to be hitting like the main stages.
Play the Zelda level.
That I'll do.
Hey Josh, when you started doing the Geek Critique, did you get like addicted to positive feedback?
I don't think so. Not like what do you mean by addicted to positive feedback?
Because before I started doing my Mega Man Zero fan dub, I had never put out any content. But when I started doing it, and I started getting like all these comments, all these subscriptions, it's like I got this rush, and I need more. So, did you ever get that feeling?
I never got like an I need more feeling. I've always been I guess something of a bit of like what people might call an attention whore, though. Yeah, like I've always enjoyed sort of being like.
You're saying you're still not?
Well, yeah, I probably still am.
I'm just kidding.
But like all through high school, like I'm a theater minor for one thing, and then even before that, all through high school, I was always involved.
I am also a theater minor.
Yeah, I was always involved in like stage production. I was never the kind of person who would be like, "Hey, we need a volunteer to stand in front of the class." I would be like, "Hell yeah, I'll do it." So
Okay, this is important. Everyone who didn't do theater in high school or college, speak up now.
Me.
Okay, just Pokemologist.
He studied
I was
Pokemology.
horrors in high school. It was
Yes,
the best.
and I have 7 master's degrees in it.
also,
Not a doctorate? What's wrong with you?
if anybody's interested in the chat right now, I think there is a spot open as far as the Skype chat goes. If anybody wants to hop on. And now we gotta wait for it to catch up. It's always awkward when that happens, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, getting a doctorate in Pokemology isn't easy because you need to get the event legendaries, and good luck getting all of those.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
God.
you got to catch them all.
Let's see. Bright Spark says he had Sonic 1 on the Master System as a kid, but later had Nintendo consoles.
Turn my mic up just a little bit.
Yeah, that'll probably sound good.
Okay, Dustin, VG Master, and Games Brained both seem interested, and they both responded at about the same time. And so did Dark Sonic.
Yeah, I
19.
see Dark Sonic now too. We haven't had Games Brained.
Settle it in Smash.
Always an option, but we haven't had Games Brained on. And since I did a Critique Tube episode on him, I feel like that would be cool. So
Okay.
Games
Yeah,
Brained,
that's
if you
fair
want on,
enough.
we'll have you on. And
Favoritism.
Favoritism! Yeah, we could probably type that in the chat. What's your Skype?
What is your Skype?
Oh yeah, nepotism!
Knave! Name your Skype.
He's gonna have to get ready. Okay, no problem. We'll go ahead and start on cover.
Test your might.
And hang on, I didn't get everything set up right before I switched over to the... There it is. Alright.
3,000. The number is 3,000.
Yeah. Also, I didn't turn this back down.
Oh god, you're playing with the Wii Remote and Nunchuck? What's wrong with you?
So you're gonna add Games Brained and then Dark Sonic 19, I guess.
Well, I'll add Games Brained right... I guess I could add them both. That'd be fine, too.
Please tell me you're not actually playing with the Wii Remote and Nunchuck.
I am playing with the Wii
That's
Remote.
gonna that's gonna jump us up to 5.
Why?
Sure.
Why? What's wrong with
You can
you?
use a GameCube controller.
Well, I'm on the Wii U, so I can't use a GameCube controller.
Well, you can at least use a
There are
classic
ways.
controller.
I could use a
Here's
classic
how you-
controller, couldn't I? That'd work, too.
Yeah.
Does the GameCube Wii U USB adapter work for Wii
only
mode for
works
GameCube
No,
Smash
it
Sport?
Brothers.
only works with Smash.
I know it works in Homebrew. I have it set up to work with Nintendo.
Yeah.
Well, it works with Homebrew, but that doesn't count.
But as far as official stuff goes, yeah. It'll...
They really ought to figure out how to add support to that for Wii games that have GameCube controller support anyway.
By the way, I just want to say I love Reach for the Stars. I freaking love this song. Like, I listen to it apart from the game quite a lot.
It's
like
my
it.
second favorite Sonic theme. My favorite is Endless Possibilities.
Endless Possibilities is fantastic, too, yeah.
I still love Open Your Heart.
Oh, yeah. That's a classic.
Sonic Heroes.
I mean,
You can't find yourself fighting your place!
a lot of people were saying that you'd have to be really gay to like Reach for the Stars, and I'm like, you know what?
That's okay.
I suppose I'm really gay then.
be gay.
Well, nobody has the right to complain about it now.
I think this is the first
I
time
like
I've ever...
Reach for the Stars.
I think this is the first time I've ever played this using the classic controller, actually. So maybe, I don't know, maybe if I'm absolutely horrible with it, I will go back to the Wii Remote and Nunchuck.
I used
Okay,
the classic
here we go.
controller when I did my first playthrough of it because I was kind of having a falling out with the GameCube controller.
Oh, a falling out with the GameCube controller, man. What could possibly cause that?
Brawl Minus.
What the...
If you've played Generations,
minus
so
cost
classic
that.
controller should be easy for this.
That's a good point.
He probably broke the GameCube controller by tilting the menu with the C stick.
Actually, no, because you see, when I go to the college I go to has a game room, and every single day my friends and I would be playing Brawl Minus before Smash 4 came out, and they'd all be using GameCube controllers, and there weren't enough controllers for me, so I had to bring my own. So I brought my own classic controller to play because I didn't have a working GameCube controller at the time. And eventually I just got so sick of the GameCube controller, and I actually did use it. I couldn't use it properly.
You said that this should be easy since I've been playing on the Eastern Generations, but no, the button layout is actually different when you're on the classic controller, so...
Oh, you're playing with the classic controller?
Isn't it customizable though? I thought it was. Might be wrong.
Is it? Hang on.
It isn't, I don't think.
Not from here, anyway. And I don't want to bother backing out. I'm fine with the nunchuck controls anyway.
By the way, Josh, Donkey Kong Country returns Wii or 3DS version.
I don't know if I could pick one. I suppose if pressed, I would rather play the Wii version. Just because like the frame rate doesn't bother me when I'm playing the 3DS version, but like I do nonetheless notice it, and I prefer the frame rate of the Wii U version quite a bit. That said, it is partly down to like the fact that the motion controls that so many people apparently hated so much, like didn't bother me in the slightest in Returns on the Wii. So.
Well, all you ever really had to do was shake the Wii remote to roll, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I was very used to that by that point. Like Mario Galaxy did that. New Super Mario Bros. Wii did that. So like, I was very used to the idea of thinking of shaking the Wii remote as just another button, basically. That being said,
I played through all of the Wii version with no problem. It never even occurred to me that you might have a different.
At least you're not playing Smash with the Wii remote, because that is just heresy.
Well, of course.
Well, the thing I would think it goes down to is that the 3D version has more levels.
And that's a very good point in its favor. Monster Games.
I didn't know that.
Monster Games. Yeah, there's like an entire new Lost World. Monster Games did a great job on those, and like if Retro, for whatever reason, wants to move on to something else or can't continue the series, then I would be perfectly okay with Monster Games sort of taking up the mantle and continuing like the new style Donkey Kong games.
Games Brain says that he's ready.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm gonna go ahead and get him on here too.
What do you think of Donkey Kong Jungle Beat?
I'm gonna talk about Jungle Beat in like either my next video or the one after that. So.
All right.
Oh, I forgot that you were doing other games after Donkey Kong 64. It's been so long.
Yeah, I know it's been a while.
Are you gonna talk about King of Swing?
Yes.
King of Swing was great.
It was a thing.
Okay, Games Brained, I don't know if I already have you on Skype, but if I don't, what is your Skype? Just ask him in the chat, that'll be faster. Or maybe he already told me and I missed it.
Are you going to talk about the GBA versions of the country
He said he would get the stuff ready, and that was the last thing he said.
Yeah, he didn't tell me his name. Am I going to talk about the GBA versions? Yes.
They're an interesting point to talk about, because they have different content, but they're mostly the same game.
Well, the thing with Donkey Kong Country 3 is that it has a completely new soundtrack and more levels, so that might be something worth talking about.
Not just a completely new soundtrack, but a completely new soundtrack done by David Wise.
Yeah.
That was a weird choice.
Like, I remember, like, you pointed out the first level theme in Donkey Kong Country 3, and you just summed it up with, oh dear. Oh dear. And then I listened to the first level theme and David Wise one, and it's like, holy shit, this is epic.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, isn't it? Like, when I was working on that script, I hadn't played the GBA version of Donkey Kong Country 3 in a long time, but I went back and I played it like shortly after I wrote that part of it, and I was like, huh, and that sort of proves my point, doesn't it?
Yep.
It does.
That David Wise...
The GBA had some serious potential with all the remakes for the Super Nintendo games they were doing with it. You know, Zero Mission was almost a remake of Super Metroid.
Really? I never heard that. By the way, Games Brained, are you in here?
I am in here.
Okay, welcome.
What's up, Game Explained?
If you would like to...
Game Explained, not me.
No, not Game Explained.
I love Game Explain.
Oh wait, no, not
awesome.
Damn it. Games... I'm sorry.
They're
So
too good. They're
similar.
too good.
I love Game Explain, but I also kind of, like, there's so many times when I see some big piece of Nintendo news and I'm like, should I make a video about this? And then I go on YouTube and Game Explain has already made like 4 videos about it. I'm like, nope, I guess not.
Well, don't let somebody else doing similar works discourage you from what you wanted.
Well, I mean, he's got a point. I mean, if someone else has talked about the news, there's no point in really filling up the channel with random news that's going to be outdated in like a couple of months.
Like, that's why I did do that for like the Ryu and Roy rumor video, because that came out at like 4 in the morning, and I'm like, okay, I can actually get a head start on this one. Like,
and that turned out to be not a rumor.
Yeah.
A journalist at heart.
But like for most stuff,
you were,
like you said,
you were too fast. They had to censor you.
Yeah.
It was weird they removed it when they did, though, because I mean,
those donuts have faces.
By the time it was removed, it was virtually already confirmed for real.
Yeah. Like I said, there were a ton of people at that time posting leaked videos of it, like people who had hacked the Japanese patch that was already out. And I think
Crediar was doing that.
So Nintendo was basically taking down anything that even looked like it. And I think that's what happened to me. But I do think that the copyright strike will be removed in the next few days.
If they don't
Hope
respond,
so.
it'll have to be.
Yeah, yeah. Because, I mean, the thing is, like, even... like, even if they did say, like, no, that is copyright infringement, I'd be like, I don't know about that. I think...
Well, I mean,
I was reporting on something relevant to the public interest, you know?
Does Nintendo monetize all the videos you make of their stuff, or are you part of their partner program?
I'm not a part of their partner program, but I think I haven't run into any problems with it. And I think it's because I'm talking about games that are so old, you know?
It's not just that. It's also because your content isn't Let's Play content.
Yeah.
They do make a differentiation between that. They monetize Let's Play content because it isn't really protected under fair use as well. Because you can't. You
should be.
can't. Well, the thing is, fair use is pretty clearly defined. Reviews, for example, are fair use because it's not just experiencing the product, it's making a statement about it. And the footage is necessary to make that statement. Whereas most Let's Plays, that doesn't really apply.
Well,
Yeah, I think the
it
general
can-
idea
it
is
can
that-
apply. It depends on a per Let's Play basis, but the point is, either way, it hasn't been defined legally whether or not a Let's Play counts as fair use.
Yeah,
And Nintendo's
copyright
only
law
been
kinda
targeting
needs some
Let's
serious
Plays.
revision.
Dark Sonic 19 asks if you added him or not, or if you're going to add him.
I don't think I added you, so we'll go ahead and tell me your Skype name, and I'll add you after this level.
He listed his Skype name earlier.
Oh, his Skype is Sonic-fan.
Like the word dash or a dash.
Well, okay. An actual dash.
Okay.
And his name is NeoTales.
Yep, I see him. NeoTales. Well, I almost said where he was from. I don't know if he wants me revealing that, but and adding him to contacts, and he's got to share his details with me before I can add him to the group chat. Dustin says, Starlight Carnival, so pretty. Yeah, it's one thing that sort of bugs me about Sonic Colors is that, God, I wish it had come out on an HD system. PC especially. PC would be
It
ideal.
would have been so gorgeous on PC.
Oh, yeah.
Even just playing it in HD on Dolphin is amazing.
Yeah, there's a Dolphin.
My computer can't run it properly on Dolphin. I get about 20 frames per second
Yeah,
trying to run
mine
it.
can't do it either, but I look forward to the day it can. And there's actually a mod that recently came out for Dolphin where you can run, like, they've somehow unlocked Sonic Colors, and it runs at 60 frames per second in HD.
Really?
Yeah, well, in
Wow.
upscaled HD on Dolphin. And I tried
Yeah.
it, and like I said, it runs at like 10 frames per second, but it is gorgeous. And I'm looking forward to the day I have a computer that can do that.
The thing about the 60 frames per second mod, it's just a couple of cheat codes actually, but you also need to change Dolphin settings to make the virtual Wii it's emulating more powerful.
Yeah.
And that actually makes your requirements higher. So even if, like me, you can run the game normally at full speed, it's more demanding to even maintain 30 with that.
Yeah, yeah.
You see, I can't run the game normally at full speed though. That's my problem.
I think with the most recent Dolphin updates, I can actually run it pretty well.
I'll have to give it a
Normally.
shot. I haven't tried in a while.
Yeah, I think Dolphin's done quite a bit of optimization stuff. Over
Yeah,
past
one of the
couple weeks.
devs.
I just hope they get the
Fiora
Android
has
version
made a
up and running
huge
eventually.
difference.
What were you
Because
saying?
the Android version of Dolphin can't run anything.
I've never even touched the Android version.
I've never
of
even
Dolphin.
heard of an Android version of Dolphin. That sounds insane.
Oh,
you do with that?
it's a mess right now. It's not ready for prime time.
No,
It's
it
getting
isn't.
They are making real progress, but it's not there yet.
Yeah.
I know nobody here likes Kingdom Hearts, but I
like
should
Kingdom
probably
Hearts.
point out, but
I like
that,
Kingdom Hearts.
for Kingdom Hearts 2.5 HD, there's actually a song in the game that uses the exact same synths as the one in Starlight Carnival.
Oh, cool.
Really?
Yeah. I think
I
it's
still
the
haven't got
one.
2.5 HD yet.
I think it's the one you hear in one of the Gummy Ship levels.
You guys are gonna see here, like, I'm nowhere near as good at Sonic Colors as I am at, like, the other Boost style games.
Yeah, you're going at my pace here.
Yeah.
I used to be really good at colors, but it's been such a long time since I've played it. I probably couldn't perform as well as I normally do.
I've never played Colors. It's one of the only Sonic games I've never played, and I wish I
Oh,
had.
you are missing out. It's really
It's
good.
a great game. I mean, it's not as good as Generations, but it is great.
I gotta wonder, why does it have so much kind of wishy-washy feedback? I see people love it, and I see a lot of people hate it.
Here's what I think. I think that Colors sort of... How do I make this platform move? I think Colors sort of occupy... Like, you know, you've got, like, the classic trilogy, like Sonic 1, 2, and 3. If you compare the Boost trilogy to them, then it's like Sonic Colors is Sonic 1, Sonic Unleashed is Sonic 2, Sonic Generations is Sonic 3. And what I mean by that is Colors is a lot slower and a lot more platformy. And you know, there are people who love that. It's very, very creative. It's very like the stage archetypes in particular are just amazing. Like, I mean, look at this. Look at what's going on right now. I love this. And probably not for you guys. You're probably not seeing the same thing I am. But you know what I mean. The chat sees it. But, like, the stage design itself just isn't anywhere near as good, I don't feel like, as Unleashed, or especially Generations. And part of that comes from the Wii's, like, the Wii just not being as powerful of a system was part of the reason they had to do that. And the other...
I actually enjoy the level design a lot.
Well, yeah, see, that's the thing. We were talking earlier about, like, the boost to win, like, whether that's a misnomer. I feel like if you don't like boost to win as much, you probably like Colors a lot more. Because, like you say, boost is not the point here. It's a Wisp power-up. It's not something the rings give you. So it's not, like, going fast all the time is not nearly so much the focus.
In the DS version, you can actually unlock the ability to have infinite boost.
Doesn't Supersonic also have infinite boost if you get him?
He does,
Yeah.
but that's because he's Supersonic, and he also kind of replaces Wisps.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
with Supersonic, no Wisps appear, and the stage design's
like-
actually kind of altered to compensate for that.
I feel like in Generations, if you're any good, the boost is essentially unlimited anyway.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Am I the only one who got really annoyed that that Sonic's one weakness is essentially made obsolete in this game?
What, water?
Yes.
No, I actually really enjoyed that, like, getting the drill power up and going through the water. I was like, this is wonderful.
You could double jump infinitely in water.
Okay, I see what you're saying. And yeah, that that is a little bit dumb.
Yeah. The Dark Lord Taco says his problem with Colors, in his humble opinion, is huge amount of 2D section with a lot of block platforming.
Yeah, and again, I think that comes from the Wii. That comes from it being...
That's true. Like the part you just did, where you were you changed the things blue and had to jump over them.
Yeah.
That's not hard at all. It's just filler. I can definitely see why that would be annoying.
I had a pretty funny death.
Getting
right
all
there.
the red rings was a chore.
It was a chore I never did, so...
He also does
Then you're
not like the story.
then you're missing out on Supersonic.
It's okay.
You know, I never got the red rings in Generations. I did.
I did.
I did.
I did beat all the missions. I just never got all the red rings.
Josh,
What's up?
when you got crushed, it's like you try to use the Wisp and it's like ha.
Yeah, I decided to cube. Maybe this will save me. Would have made sense. Those things aren't going to crush a cube. Come on.
I think Sonic Colors was like I said, I've never played it, so my opinion may be, for lack of a better word, ignorant.
Ill-informed, perhaps.
Yeah, but I having seen all the cutscenes on YouTube, I can agree with the Dark Lord Taco that the story and the writing is just bogus.
I
'Cause
love
I
the
think-
writing of the story of Colors. I think it is
It
the
gets-
funniest, among the funniest that the Sonic series gets.
Yeah,
this is
it
another
gets
thing I've
really
heard
funny.
constant back and forth on.
Well,
The problem is, it's funny taken on its own, but the writing really has nothing to do with the game, and they made Sonic a moron for some reason.
Not anymore.
Isn't,
They
isn't
did in
that
Lost
how he's usually
World.
portrayed?
this part is gorgeous,
Well-
by the way, at the beginning of Planet Wisp here. But okay, here's I think partly where that comes from. There have been Sonic games that take themselves like insanely seriously, like 06 and even Adventure 2 to an extent. And there have been Sonic games where the plot is completely irrelevant, like the plot barely matters. And there have been Sonic games where the plot is sort of goofy and campy. And you have fans, like some people who call themselves Sonic fans, and they are Sonic fans, who like the series for tons of like completely different reasons at this point. Like I really enjoyed Sonic Colors story. Like I watched every single cutscene, and it's not often I do that in any game. But
I think it was one of the better stories of the Sonic series.
Yeah, that's no question.
But I do completely see what people are saying about like it not really having a whole lot to do with the plot, especially. And I understand where people are coming from when they say they hated the story or they thought it was stupid, because like to them Sonic is this sort of not necessarily like a dark angsty like Sonic 06 style, because I don't think there are a whole lot of fans of that.
I hope not.
Well, but they do exist nonetheless. But
to me,
but people who would prefer a Sonic story to be more, I don't know, serious, I guess.
Something more serious than Colors, but less serious than 2006 would be great. Dark Lord Taco says he wants a middle ground, and that's perfect.
What did Dark Lord Taco say?
He says, I want a middle ground, you know? And I completely
Sonic
agree
Adventure
with that.
2, I think, is that middle ground.
Sonic Adventure 2,
I can't agree with that.
Yeah. it is not the middle ground to me. Sonic Adventure would be more the middle ground to me.
The Sonic Adventure 2
Sonic
gets
Adventure
the tone
1
right,
middle.
but it has other huge problems with the story.
I can see
like
that,
what?
yeah.
Seriously, let's talk about this. What do you think are the problems with the story?
I can't really answer that question
think-
because I'm about to make a video about it, so...
Yeah, and I don't feel like
If you
discussing
will,
it.
Every scene that involves the president, for example. That's...
Yeah, that's like, who cares?
I loved how they portrayed Bill Clinton. It was great.
You know what I want?
You can't tell me you didn't think of Bill Clinton when you saw him.
I did not
really
have sexual relations with that
With
hedgehog.
that hedgehog.
I think of Bill Clinton every time I look at Sonic.
What I
Well,
want
hey, that
in the
was
story
part of his
is...
inspiration.
Yeah, I know.
His personality was actually inspired by Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
That was the joke.
I want
Because
something
not
more
everybody knows
cohesive,
that,
where it
you know?
feels... Where it feels like the main plot elements and the jokes actually go hand in hand. Like, the Sonic Boom TV show is a perfect example of that. That's every bit as goofy as Sonic Colors, but it's also more consistent. You know, you've got goofy plot themes and goofy jokes, and they go
It's a cow.
together.
It's a cow bot.
Yeah, I totally see what you're saying there.
Yeah. To me, here's what I think. I've always considered that Sonic set itself apart from Mario not just in gameplay, but that it was a lot more intense. There was a lot more things that seemed like they were at stake. Like in Mario, it's like, what's going to happen if Mario loses? Oh, Princess is going to be captured. Okay. Well, if Sonic loses, then, okay, this guy has the power of these 7 godly gems.
Yeah.
And he can
So
rewrite
fire
the
an
entire
oddly
universe.
phallic-shaped
It's like-
laser into the earth.
Yeah. It's like things like that. When you think about it, when you really think about it, you can't... It seems, from a kid's perspective, that stuff seems dark. But from an adult, it's not. And I think that's really what's important when it comes to Sonic's story.
So you think that like maybe
What,
people
the illusion
who...
of being dark?
Go ahead. Sorry, I felt like I was
who's
talking
talking?
over somebody. So you feel like people who... Whoops.
That was
I
an
need
amazing.
You committed suicide right there.
I did, and I committed suicide again about the time you guys saw me commit suicide for the first time.
Oh, gosh.
I'm gonna focus on playing and let other people talk for a little while.
Okay, what were you going to say, though?
I was just gonna say, so you say that it's gonna seem like dark and like epic to a kid, kind of like the thing that comes to mind for me is Power Rangers, which like
Yeah,
like I watch
exactly.
it, you know, of course I watch it nowadays, and it's like obviously like there are no stakes here. The Power Rangers are going to win and save the day, and everything's gonna be fine. But when I was a kid, every single monster of the week, I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be it.
Yeah. That's kind of how I always felt about Sonic when I was a kid. But, I mean, I think that, you know, I do agree with the Dark Lord Taco that there does need to be a middle ground.
What game best has that middle ground then? Because the only Sonic story I've ever cared about was Sonic Adventure, and that was when I was a
I would
kid.
say, yeah,
I
I
think
would say
Adventure 1
Sonic
is perfect
Adventure
in that
1.
regard.
I would say Sonic Adventure 1 was perfect, yeah. It felt like a natural evolution of Sonic 3 and K. Josh, what are you doing?
I see the gold ring now. I'm being completely confused by Sonic Colors.
I see it, and now it's all within my reach.
Well, it's not within my reach. It's behind a wall.
Oh, okay.
You know what? The thing is about Sonic Boom the cartoon is that even the most basic core plot points, the important things that happen, are funny in some way. Like, Sonic Colors has funny jokes, but when they're not telling jokes, it's not funny. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, for the
I like
most
that how
part,
they made it canon that Knuckles doesn't like leg day.
I do think that Sonic Boom has a couple of like really weird episodes. But when Sonic Boom gets it right, it really hits it out of the park, and I've really been enjoying it for the most part.
I haven't seen Sonic Boom, so maybe you can help me. But Dark Lord Taco, he says Boom doesn't feel like Sonic to him. You could replace the characters with any other set of characters, and nothing would be different. So is it distinctly Sonic, or could you just replace, Sonic Tails, the Boomerang Girl, with the Power Rangers?
Part of that has to do with that Sonic Boom originally was not Sonic at all.
Well, the video game wasn't, but I think I've never heard that the cartoon was conceptualized as anything other than being Sonic Boom.
Well, I think what happened is that they conceptualized the cartoon show, but when they saw that the video game was being turned into Sonic, they said, "Oh, well, let's conceptualize it around that and tie it into that."
Well,
because the two games are almost completely different. I mean, the game and the TV show are almost completely different in terms of overall tone, to me.
And there's a reason that I specified the TV show, because I think it's way better written than the game.
Oh yeah, totally.
Anything is.
But even if it's not especially Sonic, I still think like it's interesting enough that you could make it Sonic and it would work.
And part of that is like sort of what I was saying earlier, that Sonic is different things to different people. There are so many people who are Sonic fans, but they're Sonic fans of completely different variations of the character. And it's a problem that Sonic's always had. Like, I remember in the 90s, like, the whole internet community was almost entirely based around the Saturday morning cartoon. So, I mean, if you didn't like that, then...
I mean, you can't say that about any other series.
Not really.
Yeah, I think Shay put it best in his part 2. I didn't even consider that until I was watching it. Just how split the community is, because they've seen so many types of the character from different starting points.
Like,
I mean, the closest thing would be Mega Man, but that had all those series going on at the same time.
Yeah, and plus Mega Man made a much clearer differentiation between like its styles, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like Mega Man X, you would never mistake Mega Man X for being the original Mega Man style.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
Well, then again, people would say you can't mistake Metal Gear for being the same as Metal Gear Solid, but people mistake Metal Gear Solid for being the first Metal Gear game when it's not.
That's just because they don't know their gaming history.
Yeah, well,
to be honest,
you could skip one.
It's really the one that matters the most, because the original 2 Metal Gears didn't age that well.
Well,
but
have
anyway,
you played
back
the second one? The second one's ridiculous. Everything's like the set pieces are the same. There's the elevator fighting invisible guards set piece. There's the running up the staircase shooting guards.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid
piece.
Was in many ways like a 3D remake of Metal Gear 2.
Yeah, just with much better.
Not that that's a bad thing. I'm just
no, Metal Gear 2 is a great game.
Yeah.
I just noticed Dark Sonic 12 left.
Did he?
I don't know. I think he did.
I know we were going to bring him on earlier. Was he saying? Hang on.
Well, he hasn't said it. He hasn't said anything.
I'm looking at. He's still there in the viewer list. Dark Sonic 19.
Oh, he said hello on Skype. Okay, he did eventually accept my. I'll go ahead and get him added.
Okay.
Add to group goal. Neo Tails. Well, I'm confused. He's Dark Sonic 13 in one place, but he's Neo Tails on Skype.
He's Dark Sonic 19.
He's got a
Hello.
secret life. Hello.
Hello.
Nice to meet you
Soup.
all.
Can you turn your mic up a little bit? I'm having a little trouble hearing you.
Oh, it's...
Drill!
By the way, this is my favorite stage in Sonic Colors.
I got the Death Egg Buddy. Awesome.
Oh man, really?
I'm loving the design of the egg pawns here.
I didn't get.
That's interesting. The odds on the Spitty thing are different based on how you acquire the spin. If it's the free spin you earn from collecting special eggs, the odds are all the same for every win. But the odds are much greater for the lesser ones if it's the one you get from Red Rings. That's kind of interesting.
That's very interesting. A little bit.
So wait, does that mean that if you go to the trouble of like spending real money on Red Rings, that your odds of getting Classic Sonic are actually less?
Yes.
Oh, that's not good at all.
Would the
No, you
other
actually
way
have to
around be
work
better,
for it
though?
to get the better odds.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot. You know, if someone's going to be a rube and spend a lot of money on it, let them. And for the rest of us, give us a better game.
Yeah,
Someone keeps farting into the microphone.
no, I think that's Neo Tails. Yeah, I think he's trying to get his mic sorted out. Yeah, you just sound very, like you're not getting a good connection.
You sound very farty.
Very farty.
This is another example of I feel the fantastically, like, creative level aesthetics in Sonic Colors, by the way.
I'm getting a DKC2 vibe from that.
I can see it, yeah.
I'm getting a SpongeBob vibe from all the...
I can't understand your accent.
A race of aliens that communicate only by farting.
Purity screaming aliens, please ignore them. The
He
screams are
attacks
how they
by-
communicate. Really? I promise.
Attacks by farting. Are you kidding me? No, I am not kidding.
Oh my god, I love that about Brawl.
So,
yes,
Dark
that
Sonic
does
19, I don't know if you can hear us just fine on Skype, because we can't hear you. But if you can hear us, make one fart noise, and if you can't, make two.
Guys, I'm not hearing any farting. I'm worried.
I heard a little bit of like half a fart, but I don't know what that means.
It was a tiny fart. You know the ones.
I think something's wrong with this microphone.
No, I think everything's fine. This is perfect.
I just think he ate too many burritos.
Is this making the conversation come full circle back to buttholes?
Of course.
Everything returns back to where it started. The butthole.
Everything becomes about buttholes if you let it go long enough.
Everything is buttholes. Everything is cool when you're part of a team.
If you
In fact, even food goes back to your butthole if you wait long enough.
if you become popular enough on YouTube, your comment section becomes full of buttholes.
Exactly.
That's true. Everything comes back to buttholes. I did not.
Well,
think
we
of
know
it
what
that
Josh
way.
thinks of his fans.
No, I'm not there yet. I am not there yet. I still enjoy interacting with my comment section.
Yeah, one day you're like, maybe in a few years, you're gonna get someone who's like, "I miss the Sonic retrospectives. Do more of those." And you're like, "I already did all the games."
Yeah, I can't do anymore. They need to make more games.
But I guarantee you're gonna get to that point where someone demands more retrospectives for games you already did or something.
Oh yeah, that's
Well-
bound to happen.
Or they're gonna demand retrospectives for games that you've never played.
Well, that's fine.
Or
That-
or games that nobody gives a shit about. Like,
Like Kingdom Hearts.
just wait.
Shut up!
No, someone's gonna want a retrospective of like Vegas Stakes for the Super Nintendo or something.
Oh, I know what's coming.
It's like 5-second video. Here's my retrospective. That happened.
It's gambling. No, I mean it's already like just in this little stream we've done here. No, little stream. Listen to me. No, this is a huge stream. But like people have a couple of times asked if I like. Are you ever going to talk about, like, Waku Waku Sonic Patrol Car? Or, I'm like, I talked about it in the wrap-up
mention
videos.
those.
Okay, so in the chat, CheatFreak47 says the SpongeBob GameCube/PS2 game was really good. Battle for Bikini Bottom.
Which Battle for Bikini Bottom was actually good.
That was
I will
what it was
attest
called,
to that.
yeah.
I never played it. And he also asked, was there any other games Heavy Iron Studios made that were any good?
I don't know.
I don't know who that
I don't
is
know about
exactly.
Heavy Iron Studios. other
They
than that,
they
the
made
fact they
Epic
that
Mickey
game.
too.
They made what?
Yeah, they made Epic Mickey too, so that couldn't have been that bad.
They made the Wii U and Wii version of Disney Infinity too.
I had Revenge of the
Those
Flying
games are
Dutchman.
okay.
That was not as good.
Have any of you played Metal Arms Glitch in the System?
Nope.
No.
Is it glitchy?
No.
I've only heard about it from Jim Sterling.
Well, I guess I won't bring it up then, because if none of you have even heard of it, it's hard to explain.
I have heard of it, but I don't know anything about it. The reason, by the way, since SpongeBob keeps coming up, you might remember last night I asked everyone's ages at one point. SpongeBob, for me, like, I feel like I was the completely wrong age to get into it, because I was about 12. I was almost 12 when I first saw that show. And, like, the people who love SpongeBob were the kids at the time, and then the college people, yeah? So I was, like, in this weird... Like, people make SpongeBob references all the time, and I'm like, I don't really get it. Like, I recognize it as a SpongeBob reference because I see it so much, but, like, I have no, like, frame of reference for it beyond that, I guess.
I think SpongeBob might be like the longest running kids cartoon ever.
It is actually. It just met that milestone.
By the way, switching to the Wii U, the stream is probably going to screw up again. Just a warning. So we're probably going to have to restart again here in a second, but we'll give it the old college try.
So Sonic Mike 2 says you need to do a 10-part series on Sonic Jam Gamecom.
How would I get a 10-part series out of that? Jeez.
Make every video like a minute long.
I might. Well, it would have to be like mostly about the development of the Gamecom, I guess.
Not even that. It's like, what else? What is out there? Basically, Tiger Electronics sat in a boardroom and says, "Okay, we need to compete with the Game Boy. I got this thing. Okay, sell it."
The best touchscreen technology 1997 can buy.
I think it might have been, actually.
We can't hear you at all, NeoTales. He just posted in the chat. We haven't heard a thing out of you, not even a fart.
We have heard farts, actually.
Nope, nothing. No, not
we have heard farts.
We were hearing weird fart sounds at first, but then they died out. I haven't heard anything.
When you first got on, I heard you, but you sounded like you were a little bit like your mic was down too low. Since then, I haven't heard anything.
Eat more beans so we can understand you.
I heard "How about now," but it sounded horrible.
It sounded horrible, dude.
No, it's virtually impossible.
They took our jobs!
I'm glad you caught that.
I did.
Hold on a second, guys.
All right.
Are you okay?
Yeah, just bored.
I was really worried there for a second. You're having a respiratory problem.
No, I was advertising the stream in a few
guys,
places.
I'll be back in, I think, at most a half hour.
Okay.
So I'll see you guys in bed.
All right, we shouldn't.
See you soon, man.
We shouldn't be done by then. See you later.
All right. See you later.
All right.
By the way, did the stream survive the transition back to the Wii U?
It's still going.
It seems to. You might need to change the delay back to 1100.
The delay, yeah. I'm going to have to do that. Yeah,
check the donations.
Once I get done adjusting the delay. Okay.
Patreon's still where it was.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed more people haven't hopped on with that. I think Keenan Walden is the only person who has. But I mean, I guess it makes sense. Like, if you're not already subbed to the Patreon, you don't you just want to make this a one-time thing.
I think part of the problem is that you said for the stretch goal you said $35 instead of a clean $30 to make it clean at $300.
You make a great
the total,
point, don't you? Jeez.
That's a very good point. Change it now. Change it now. Change it now.
Changing it now. $5 less.
Now. That's right. You cheap bums just got a discount. I'm just kidding. Donate nothing. I don't care.
Because I'm sorry, that would annoy the hell out of me.
What if it ended up at like 305?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah.
It's one of those satisfying things, like peeling off new electronics.
I do like how certain people have kept donating, like, to bring it up to a round number. That.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
There's people who would donate just because otherwise it's at like 270, and no, we can't have that.
Maybe I should just throw in like $1.84 myself just to screw with it.
That's about the price of a Coke bottle.
Indeed. NeoTales, I'm gonna go ahead and take you off here because I can't hear you at all. If you sort out your mic problems, let me know, and we'll bring you back.
Sorry,
There
man.
is In case it helps, there's a call test feature in Skype you can use to troubleshoot your problem.
Yeah.
And if you can get that worked out, we'll be glad to have you back.
Right on, right on. Okay, I'm also going to drop Tyler since he's not actually here. And
All right, so
and if anybody else from the chat,
We're shrinking down.
yeah, if anybody else from the chat wants to hop on, now's the time.
Are
Oh
you
God,
switching
here we
to
go.
Lost World? I just bought this game.
You bought it. How much did you pay for it?
Way too
Too
much
much.
because it's hard to find here.
Really?
Yeah, Sonic is not. Well, Sonic's not as popular as some other characters here.
Where
where do you live?
I am in Taiwan.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Do you want to introduce yourself? I don't feel like you ever did that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, you guys are having a nice chat.
Yeah. No. Sorry about
I'm
that.
Game Sprained. I make YouTube videos, and I live in Asia. I live in Taiwan right now. I kind of jump back and forth from Taiwan and Japan.
I
Cool.
would guess by your accent you're not from Taiwan.
I am not Taiwanese. I'm American.
Judging by your Skype picture, you're not either.
Yeah. Well, judging by the Skype picture, Ben is Shadow the Hedgehog.
That's true.
Yes.
You know, appearances are deceiving.
You
Wait,
flipped
it-
through
wait,
my
is that Sonic?
disguise.
Oh no, it is
Sonic?
Shadow.
He looks
I need
just
to
like
change
Sonic the
my-
Hedgehog.
More like Solid Snake.
Wait, is it Shadow or Sonic?
I'm
I
not
can't
Solid
tell.
Snake.
They look
I'm
so.
Shadow the Hedgehog.
They look so
Damn
similar.
it.
That
His voice is just like Sonic the Hedgehog too.
I also voice Shadow the Hedgehog in many fan dubs online,
Wow.
which adds up to about 2 now. Actually,
I played God
Too
in
many?
somebody's like
Really?
Sprite cartoon series once.
Oh god. I don't even want to know. That would be cringe city.
I should see about like voice acting opportunities on Newgrounds. That could be fun. I bet there's a lot of people who want voice actors on there.
You know, you should go to behindthevoiceactors.com.
I have done I auditioned for one thing there, a fan dub of FF7.
I saw somebody.
Didn't get it. My Reno doesn't sound enough like Quentin Flynn.
I saw somebody was trying to get together a redub of the Sonic OVA,
I never saw that.
and I thought about trying to hop on with that.
Yeah, I once auditioned for Shadow for this girl's like fan fiction, I think, but I had never seen the script. So
Oh,
I
no.
auditioned and I got the role, and I was like, oh, okay, give me the script. Oh no!
God. You should have really thought about that.
Like, oh, I learned my lesson afterwards, but ugh.
Are we in game right now? Like, is this you playing?
Yeah, this is me playing.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is this Dustin?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Dustin.
Yeah, and Dustin
Hey.
also got added back. Who you might remember from yesterday.
I'm finally back
I
in about
do.
time too.
I do remember you, Dustin.
Wait a minute, but this time are you in the mood?
I don't know. I'll have to get back to you on that.
VK Mize was certainly in the mood when I was playing DuckTales earlier.
Well, he was
Oh,
in the mood.
oh
he was in the
gosh.
mood. He was in the mood for DuckTales, but absolutely nothing else.
Yeah, I woke up
I
to see
think
you on
that's always
DuckTales,
for him.
and the story just kind of told itself to me.
His creepy finish moaning and grunting and stuff, like I couldn't tell if it was funny or just incredibly awkward.
Why not both?
Yeah.
I
These
know.
two, these two
I
things
know.
are not separate.
I know. I couldn't stop laughing.
Why are
So
rings in this game
47
completely
is
useless?
psyched for that new update to a game I don't play.
Oh yeah. I'm actually looking forward to it myself, but I might not play it right away.
I never got into Minecraft or Terraria, but I own both.
They're very different. Like at first glance they seem really similar, but they're not.
Yeah.
I don't like Terraria, and I do like Minecraft, for example.
Yeah,
and other
same here.
people like Terraria, but not Minecraft. It's
Yeah, I feel the same as you.
I think
Hey.
my problem with those games is that I don't like games where they just drop you in and they let you do anything. I like
Yeah.
games that have a focus.
It's a
Well,
I usually
well,
do.
that's
I
the
couldn't
thing. You
stand
gotta find your
Skyrim for that.
focus.
Retro64Z points out, Dustin, that you are not the first member of the DK crew.
This is admittedly very true.
Okay, how is
You
it now?
fraud!
It's
Dustin
my
Kong.
only shame.
Now,
It's my only shame.
He has no style.
He has no grace.
Grace.
This
This
Kong
Kong
has a
sucks.
funny
Funny.
face.
Funny face.
He can handstand. when he needs to, and stretch his arms out just for you.
I'm gonna do a Donkey Kong Country marathon, and I want us to make references to Sonic theme songs the entire time.
Okay, I have a great idea, Josh.
What's that?
How about to end your Donkey Kong retrospective, you have every one of your Patreon backers who's up for it sing the DK rap.
That actually is an amazing idea, and I thank you for it.
I have one problem with this idea.
What's that?
I'm not a Patreon backer, so therefore I would not be involved in it.
Too bad.
We
can hear you
me now.
Oh yeah. Cheat Freak brought up a good point. Is that Terraria actually does have a focus and whatnot? Well, technically, if we're really gonna be technical about it, Minecraft does have a focus. It's really loose.
Yeah,
how
it's the End Dragon, right?
Yeah,
That does,
which is
Ender Dragon, yeah.
when you're set up for it, it is blast getting to it.
That was always our goal. Like, I still have a world called like To the End, and we played in it for like probably hundreds of hours, and we never actually made it to the end.
The stream's acting kind of weird. We keep getting several seconds of paused gameplay footage.
It's definitely
that keeps happening for me too.
Okay, I am gonna go ahead and restart it then, because that tends to happen when I switch from one console to another, and it also happens when you switch from like Wii mode back to the Wii U. So I'm gonna.
Yeah, and it's not happening with the scrolling text at the top. So I know it's a problem with the stream and not me.
All right, we'll be right.